Literally about to tear this head apart. Yeah, it's already built. There's already springs and retainers in there. They're actually manly. I had to do some soul searching for those. And I do have my shimless buckets. So in this video, we're gonna be putting the shimless buckets in. I'm gonna warn you guys that this is obviously probably not the right way to do it, but it is the way that works. And so long as you're doing the proper measurements and stuff, it won't be an issue. This is the way that I did for this car years ago. Obviously, you guys all know this car works. But you will need a finger grinder for this, because you will be lightly glazing off the end of this step here. This is what you will be grinding off to adjust your actual clearancing between the lobe and the top of the bucket. It's not super hard, just time consuming. You gotta put the cams on and take the cams off. Okay, before we got started on this, I wanted to go ahead and put this sensor in. Sucked out any metal shavings that was coming through, so this was a very, very clean drill and tap. But this is my Haltech sensor. So it's going to read the trigger on the cam. Obviously, the GE non-VVTIs do not come with a cam sensor, so this is the modification that we have to do that. Because I don't want to spend $1 million on a cam gear setup that some of these companies are putting out. And it's also kind of tacky. I don't like the wiring on the front of the engine. It makes me feel like we're an RV, and we don't do that now. So next up, we're going to fill all of these up with solid buckets. So all of these guys are going to go right into their homes, and then we will do the measurements and everything after we put the cam in. Okay, I had to get into the momentum of doing this again. Got one cam finished, so all of these buckets here, they are all set to spec. The way that we do this here is we've got the buckets in here, so pretend you put a whole line of buckets in, just like this, and you're going to get a base measurements. Your base measurement will be but you'll want to start with the measurement that is recommended. So we're doing 8 thousandths on the intake side, 10 thousandths on the exhaust side, and this is just a 3 thousandths. What you want to do is you want to get the lobe, base of the lobe on the bottom, so you can slide this between the lobe and the bucket. So obviously number 3 went in very, very easily. And you'll just want to get yourself over to number 8 and slide number 8 under there. Number 8's very stiff on both of these. So number 8 thousandths is the spec that you want. Not too much, not too little. There is a tolerance for these, just like OEM. It's 2 thousandths in either direction. You don't want to be too far out, like you don't want 5 thousandths out on one. You start to get some slap. But these are shimless buckets also. And one of the bigger reasons why you don't want to have any crazy gaps and stuff with the shimmed buckets is because you can kick a shim out. And you definitely don't want that to happen. The shims are pretty heavy, and obviously with metal moving around like crazy, you can definitely damage some stuff, and you don't want that. If you guys want an actual full in-depth video on how to do the solid buckets, which you guys might, this is actually just the process we're doing for the Supra, so this is just the video series for building the car. We got that thing built. I know I started to seem like I was going to do like a how-to thing, but it got really stressful, and then it was also cold, and I didn't really want to have the camera set up. But if you guys are wanting an in-depth thing on how I do it, which very well is probably not the right way, but does work, because obviously the 240 has it, let me know. But we got the block, got this girl all cleaned up and painted. Got the sandwich plate and stuff on there. It's not all tightened down and everything just yet. But these pistons, though, be looking brand new. Brake clean does wonders. Those things look absolutely fresh. So now, there's not really too much else I can do at the moment, only because I'm waiting on the gasket kit. I also have a new oil pump on the way. I do have the ATI getting ready. I gotta make sure it fits. I'm pretty sure it's the new style, so there's no hone to fit. I think the next thing we gotta do is, I gotta clean the mid pan, and then I also have to cut these guys off and then weld them. All right, another minor update. Got the wastegate flange and everything welded on. Surprisingly enough, with the wastegate clamp to it, I was able to actually wiggle my way all the way to the back. So she's welded nicely all the way through. And as well as those being welded, I welded up these guys here And then this one here I broke off and welded. And then the final thing that I welded are the crossover tubes that will no longer be there because obviously the manifold or the valve covers now have AN10 fittings for breathers, so there's no reason for them to go back and forth. So really at this point, I got the block all prepped up, and I still got to scrape that pan. But honestly, at this point, the only thing I'm really waiting on now are my gaskets. I could do a couple other things, like I can put the struts on the hatch, and I can do the clutch master, the Tilton master that comes with the Trimmet kit, and I think that's about all I can do until the gaskets get here. Once the gaskets get here, I'll be able to put all the O-rings and everything on the oil pump, because I got a new oil pump on the way also. I'll get this all snugged up, and we'll get her all together. I'll clean that head up some more. I'm gonna make sure that it's completely spotless before obviously I bolt it to the block, but yeah, we're just about there, guys. All right, long last, guys. The gasket kit is already here. Well, you know, I would say it's already here, minus the fact that it's been way too freaking long. So here we are. Got my new oil pump. It's an OEM Ison pump. They even tried to hide the fact that it's a Toyota. You can't fool me. Got some O-rings and everything. Got a lot of stuff here. I'm really excited. So honestly, at this point, it's really just put her together. This gasket here is not really wanting to stay flat, but you know what? Gaskets are supposed to be crushed between metal. So I'm not really too worried about it, honestly. I'll take a look at it, just make sure it's all okay. I do have another head gasket on the way, so it doesn't even matter. I ordered these because the other place was taking too long to ship. Man, just about to put that freaking just about to put the mid sump on and freaking forgot that I didn't scrape the crud off of it. So I scraped a bunch of stuff off there, and it's currently outside, just pressure wash the thing, so it's drying. Over there, standing up like a civilized oil pan. Once that thing's done, I'll be able to set it right on here, seal it all up nice and pretty, and then I will be able to get the pan on, which that thing is actually clean. I'll be able to put that on there. But first, we got to put the sump on, then we got to put a baffle pan on, and then we got to put the pickup tube. And then, yeah, it should actually be pretty straightforward. A very, very simple process. Putting these together is really relatively easy. Gotta make sure that this O-ring stays put. Stop popping out of there. You belong here. Okay. All right. Okay. Hold on. Nope. Okay, got this pan snugged. Doing the proper setting for the right stuff, which is the silicone that I'm using here. So nice finger tight, basically. Gonna give it about 30 minutes to set, and then I'll snug it down. When this goes on, the pickup tube goes on, and then the pan will go on, and then the whole bottom end is done. Then it's just cylinder head, which is super easy, timing, manifolds, and then it's time to party. Got a couple O-rings and stuff I need to change. Right there, actually it's just the one, so you got the O-ring on the power steering, and then I gotta get rid of this freaking power line and route it in the car. I got a black one, so got this power line over here that's going to the transmission, which I'm assuming they're just doing for a battery ground, but we're gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna do proper battery grounds chassis to block, and then we'll do the 1/0, because I have a black 1/0 that's like this size that I will run inside the car, just like I did with the white Supra. So just kind of clean it up pretty good. I got 20 foot of it, so I got plenty to work with, and then we got fuel lines and everything else. But that O-ring, the crush washer down there, is actually one of the biggest priorities. That thing needs to be changed. I wish that it was all PTFE braided with AN lines, but it is what it is. We'll just deal with it. Gotta get that fixed, and once that's fixed, then the car should literally not leak at all. The whole point, the reason it was leaking before, it was because of power steering. So for whatever reason, power steering just seems like it just wants to leak at all times and somehow figures out how to leak no matter what. So we're making some progress here. Now that I finally got my freaking gaskets. Good lord, man, the wait time for those things is crazy. Alright, we're damn near there. We got the freaking pickup tube and everything all set. She looks very nice. Made sure to deep clean this guy. These guys aren't really super easy to find, but very easy to maintain, very easy to clean, so long as previous owners don't completely destroy the oil pan. Those blocks looking real nice. Now it's time to put the whole bottom on. Get the whole sump in there, the whole pump, the whole sump, the whole pan. Get the whole thing on there. Okay, so since I haven't really explained this yet, this is a non-VVTi GE head, so these are the ones that do have a distributor. What I'm going to be doing with this is plugging this hole so it will not have a distributor anymore, and we are using a Haltech cherry sensor. So the sensor is poked through. It's going to read a signal from a GTE cam. I've got an O-ring on the back side of this. I am not entirely certain if it's going to actually seal just yet, but if it doesn't, I've got countermeasures and whatnot that we are going to be able to do to fix the issue. Right now, it's very solid. The O-ring's there. There's no pressure inside the head. It's just to keep oil in instead of seeping out. So if it does start leaking there, I've got other ways to deal with it. But I got the solid buckets and everything in there. Like I said before, if you guys are interested in seeing exactly how I did these, I will be more than happy to show you. It is not per se the absolute correct way to do it, but it is a way that does work because I have done it before, and obviously it is working in the 240. But she is ready to go. Alright, everything's all seated. Got the studs in. Gasket's fine. It's just trying to flex up off the rivets there. No big deal. It'll crush whenever the head goes on. She's ready, guys. The cylinder head's going on, and we're gonna get this thing timed and all the manifolds and everything put on there. She is gonna be beautiful. Also, dumb me, I forgot the main seal. So I'm gonna probably get that set on like right now. That sucks. Just cleaned that pan, so I'm gonna try to get that RTV off there before it fully dries. Alright, got the head down. Got to torque these down. We're going to do 30, 60, 90. 90 with a little bit more. That's just typically what I do. It's going to be real nice to have those brand new BC272s in here. We'll get the timing belt on there right after I clean it up because it's a little bit dirty. Sean showed up. Take a look at the engine. And because he's doing a couple things on the Lexus. So, man, this thing sure does look good. It will be done very, very soon. But I hope you guys freaking enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys later.